Hey everyone, what's up? It's your girl, the Venusian Bull, and welcome back to my channel. And if this is your first time here, welcome. Hello. Thank you for joining me. I'm so excited because in this series of videos, we are going to be discussing planets in the 11th house. Okay, it's about to get futuristic up in here. All right, we about to be in the future in this bitch. Okay. You know how it is, you know how we do. We're going to do a little introduction video, little cute intro, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to break down the planets in the 11th house one by one, okay? So remember to like, comment, and subscribe, share, and tell a friend, tell many friends, tell a whole goddamn organization, okay? Because this is the 11th house we're talking about here, all right? Just a little bit of background on the 11th house and kind of the general characteristics. You know, the 11th house is akin to Aquarius. The 11th house is it's very revolutionary. It's very innovative. It's very eclectic kind of energy. It also has to deal with hopes and wishes and dreams, as well as, you know, large groups and organizations and like being a humanitarian and things of that nature. So it's kind of like a wide array of things. And when I go through each of the planets, you'll see some distinct things that I may discuss that I may not discuss in other videos because it'll be, you know, specific to that planet.
All right, so a couple more quick hits on the 11th house. So the 11th house also represents the LGBTQIA community. I think I covered all of the letters in that alphabet. So yes, it represents the LGBTQ plus community. And whether you are a part of this community, whether you're an advocate for this community, whether you have friends that are in this community, or whether you just interact on a regular basis with people in the LGBTQ community, that can be found in the 11th house, that kind of information. And also, this is the house of friends, okay? What about your friends? Will they stand their ground? Will they let you down again? So this is all about friends. So throughout me discussing the planets in the 11th house, and I know that singing was bad, y'all. But anyway, throughout me discussing the planets in the 11th house, I'm also going to discuss what that planet means in terms of how you are as a friend as well. So this is another relationship house, like the 7th house and like the 8th house, but it kind of deals with relationships on a large scale. You know, this is about the collective. It's not about individual relationships or romantic relationships. It's about, you know, your friendships, your platonic, you know, relationships and things like that. And also, you know, any types of, you know, organizations and groups that you may be involved in with like-minded people. So, you know, I just had to get that tidbit in there. You know, I got to be thorough. Okay. Bitch, got to be thorough up in this piece. All right. So, yeah, so I just had to get that in. So stay tuned for more.
And of course, as a disclaimer, I let y'all know that I can be quite literal in these videos. Yes, I'm literal on purpose because I make my videos not only for the people who are experienced in astrology, which the 11th house also represents, but also for the newbies that are coming in. So I want to, you know, make sure that they understand. So sometimes I can be overly literal. However, if you have placements in this particular house, just know that depending on what sign is on the 11th house cusp, what aspects other planets are making to this planet and things like that, it can definitely modify this energy, okay? So take this with a grain of salt. Okay, so these are the general characteristics that I'm going to be discussing as it pertains to the 11th house. I think I covered most of the things. It's not like a whole bunch of stuff, but y'all know how it is when I get into these videos. I start yapping, and a video I thought that was going to be 5 minutes turns into 25. So I'm not even going to say necessarily that these will be shorter videos, but we may be shorter. Also, you know, the 11th house is dealing with everything in the abstract, technology, social media, you know, forward thinking, progressivism, you know, all of that is very much 11th house energy, okay? So without any further ado, we just going to get to it. We just going to get in it. You know what I'm saying? We're going to zoom to the future. Like, all right, I'll see you in 2025. Bye. All right. Hey, what's up, everybody? So, we are going to be discussing Venus in the 11th house. Yes, y'all know that Venus is my favorite planet, and I love talking about Venus. I feel like I can talk about Venus for hours. So, we're going to be talking about Venus in the 11th house, which is going to be a different kind of quirky kind of love here going on. All right, so Venus in the 11th is similar to having Venus in Aquarius or having Taurus or Libra on the 11th house cusp, okay? So Venus in the 11th. The one thing to remember about Venus in the 11th house is that Venus in the 11th is so like, the way that they approach love and relationships is from like a friendship standpoint. Like, if you cannot be their friend, then you cannot be their lover. Tell me again. Tell me again, my baby, be lovers and friends. So yeah, lovers and friends is a big thing with Venus in the 11th house. Venus in the 11th house is all about relationships of convenience. This is very friends with benefits energy. This is very much like we married, but we live in different houses and shit like that. Like, you need your space, you know what I'm saying, to be your free, like, alien-esque type of self. This is a very interesting Venus placement. Like, if you can't handle someone who wants their distance and who is different and quirky and kind of off the beating path, then you can't really rock with a Venus in the 11th house. Venus in the 11th house also is all about that intellectual stimulation, and they're not really so hung up on looks and the physical. Like, what they are attracted to is, you know, like-minded people, like-minded weird people like themselves. So it's not really about, you know, looks and stuff like that. Although I will argue that the more normal you look, the less likely you're gonna get a Venus in the 11th house person. So if you kind of like that weird, quirky thing, like, I don't know, dress a little different, get a purple wig or something like that. Maybe some tattoos, like some interesting tattoos or something. I don't know, be from another country, speak a different language, have an accent. Like, you gotta come with the different, like the not just like different in terms of culturally, but different in terms of your mind, like how your mind works, you know, your perspective on things. And of course, you know, Venus is about, you know, the visual aesthetic initially, you know what I'm saying? So the way that you do look and the way that you express yourself physically is going to kind of be a direct reflection on who, you know, you're going to attract. It just is what it is. It's, you know, the laws of, I don't know, science, gravity, whatever. I don't know. I'm doing a video about the 11th house and my intellectual ability is like, it's trickling down a little bit. So excuse me, y'all. I know y'all smart as hell, but just, you know, bear with a sister a little bit. You know, told y'all these allergies, you know, it's like whatever. But anyway, but yeah, so Venus in the 11th house, they just really love different, interesting people. This is somebody, you know, they probably going to friend zone you. Like, it's likely that they'll friend zone you for a minute. Like, if you're really interested in that person, you got to really like bring it with the conversation, bring it with the excellent communication skills, bring it with the fact that, you know, you also like to watch National Geographic, like you also like to do activism work, like you are also a humanitarian, you also donate your clothing to the homeless, like you know, you got to be on everything like that. You know what I'm saying, when it comes to dealing with the Venus in the 11th house person. Another thing that Venus deals with is money, all about the money. So remember when I said that Venus in the 11th house could deal with relationships of convenience. It is something about Venus in the 11th house or Venus in Aquarius that is magnetic, that attracts people. Like, you don't have to try. People flock to you. People like you. People are interested in you. So you're going to have a lot of suitors. You know, it doesn't matter what gender you are. And trust me, gender fluidity, Venus in the 11th house. I mean, let me tell you something. You don't care if the person is gay, straight, trans, pansexual, whatever, as long as they are a human being and they are attractive to you and they're like-minded like you, we can make something happen. Okay. Venus in the 11th is probably like the most open when it comes to dealing with like different, you know, sexualities and stuff like that. Like, they don't have a preference when it comes like that. They're like, come one, come all. Oh, you're trans, that's great. Oh, you're gay, that's great. Oh, you're straight, that's great. Like, they don't care. You want to be poly? That's probably like a dream come true for somebody with Venus in the 11th house. You know what I'm saying? You want to do a long distance relationship? Like, we can just do this on the internet. We could just do this through social media. Like, they could be about that life. They could be like okay with like never actually meeting you and just like maybe FaceTiming you and stuff like that because they're content like that. You know what I mean? I think I kind of got away from my point a little bit because I started talking about all of the different types of people that Venus could in the 11th house could be attracted to. But yeah, that's definitely something that could come to pass. Oh, the money. So you could definitely attract people with money, people that want to give you money, like willingly, you know. You may like attract a sugar daddy or something like that. You may attract someone who, you know, wants to pay for your tuition, for your books, to fund your YouTube channel and stuff like that. Cause I know you have one. Yes, you do. You just like, I don't know, like you kind of are someone who doesn't have to work that hard in order to get people to like you, in order to get things from people. And the ironic thing about it is that you're not really big on gifts like that, but people just want to give you things because they see that, okay, you're an emotionally distant person, but you're so interesting. It's just like something I can't put my finger on. You're so like, it's like a charismatic thing, but in like an introverted but quirky, but you're kind of like extroverted because you have all these friends kind of way. It's like, it's a really interesting energy that people kind of can't get enough of, this Venus in the 11th house energy. And you're usually, like I said before, you know, very likable and very approachable, and you'll talk to most people. You love to talk. You love to talk, and you love to talk about things that you know, things that are interesting, things that are intellectually stimulating. You can kind of do the small talk like a Gemini can, but at some point we need to kind of take it to the next level of that more intellectually stimulating, you know, type of conversation as well. Venus in the 11th house is also someone who can be very like experimental when it comes to sex, but also someone who can be very, I don't want to say reserved, but very much capable of being celibate. You know what I'm saying? Like you could be asexual. You know what I'm saying? When you have Venus in the 11th house, because Venus in the 11th house is not about that kind of one-on-one interaction, which is kind of like defeats the purpose of Venus, because Venus is all about, you know, the one-on-one interaction and that kind of getting to know that person on a one-on-one basis. But since the 11th house is about the collective and it's about a mass group of people, it's very difficult for you to have the capability to like love one person. You know what I'm saying? And be in love and feel that deep love. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can feel it for them as a friend, but as a romantic partner, it's like, it's really difficult. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how your chart is set up and what other aspects you have, you know, that are aspecting Venus, this could vary, but you know, you could be very comfortable with being single for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? as long as you have your friends and the people around that you relate to, you know, and maybe a fuck buddy or two, like, you're good. Like, you don't need, this is not like a Scorpio or something that needs that intimate bond, or like a Venus in the 8th house or something like that, or a Venus in the 4th, and they just need the intimate bonds. I just need to connect with you in that way. Like Venus in the 11th house, they're not about that. They want to connect with you intellectually. You know, it's head over heart all the time. So it could be like, you could be dealing with someone with Venus in the 11th house and be like, do you have a heart? You know what I'm saying? It's like the Tin Man. It's like nothing there. It's just nothing. You just hear emptiness in the heart. But when you tap on the head, it's like all of these light bulbs going off and boom, boom, bam, 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 bam. But you know, when it comes to the heart, mm-mm. So be prepared for that if you're dealing with someone with Venus in the 11th house. I know you love them. I know you want to be with them. I know you want to marry them and stuff like that. But I mean, like, think of like an alternative way to have a relationship. Like, you know, 3 months we're together, 3 months we're apart. Okay, we live on the other 2 different sides of the country. That's perfect for a Venus in Aquarius, or Venus in the 11th house, because I don't have to see you all the time. You know, polyamory relationships, polygamous relationships, something where you can kind of have like variety in some way, shape, or form, and kind of like not being tied down to one person. It's not to say that someone with Venus in the 11th house cannot be in a committed relationship and they can't be married. However, what I am saying is that someone with Venus in the 11th house needs an alternative method to the normal type of partnership and relationship. Like, that normal, like, monogamy, like, I met you, I love you, we're gonna get married and we're gonna have kids. Like, they probably don't even want to have kids, to be honest. You know, there's nothing traditional about a Venus in the 11th house. That's the strongest way I can put it. Like, they're not traditional when it comes to love and relationships. It's all about being different and unique and expressing that in the way that, you know, they want to have their relationship, basically. So it can be a good time, but it can be a little cold. It could be a little stagnant. That's why I'm saying, like, it's very important that you're their friend. Because if you're their friend, then they'll care about you more than if you're like their significant other or their partner. Like, for real. That's why, like, you'll never get past point A with a Venus in the 11th house person if you like them. You're never going to get past point A if they're not your friends. So befriend them. That's the biggest thing. Y'all need to have y'all lovers and friends. Lovers and friends. You know, friends with benefits is like actually really great for Venus in the 11th. Y'all really thrive off of that. No commitment city, okay? Like, y'all really love that. And just like someone that you can really talk to about deep, like, kind of like philosophical things, you know, controversial topics, conspiracy theories, and, you know, different ways to travel to Mars and shit like that. Like, you want to have those like interesting conversations with people. And when you have those types of conversations with someone with Venus in the 11th house, that might actually get them wet. That might actually get them in the mood. And like, ooh, they're talking about quantum physics. Woo, shit. Let me stop. But I'm like being dead serious. They may get really turned on by talking about quantum physics. So, you know, if you're somebody who, like, you were a math major in college or something like that, or you in accounting or engineer, that Venus in the 11th house is waiting for you because you smart. You smart. Okay. All right. So I think that I've pretty much, you know, laid the point down for Venus in the 11th house. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you laughed a little bit, got a little cackle out of some of the things that I said. And if you happen to have this placement, be sure to sound off in the comments down below. Let me know if any of this information resonated with you. And also remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, tell a friend, tell all of your friends, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.